Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel, The Bucket List Mom. My name is Elizabeth and today we are making a Winter Wonderland Sip. And so this is like a holiday drink that tastes like peppermint, and it's gonna help you feel full and help you feel satisfied and help you stay on whatever weight loss plan you're using. This should probably work. And so this recipe comes from Trim Healthy Mama, which you guys have probably heard if you're on my channel now, that I'm doing a weight loss program called Trim Healthy Mama. And so they have all these neat tips and tricks and things to help you stay full and help you stay on your weight loss plan. And sippers are becoming kind of a thing on my channel now. I've featured quite a few of them, and so I definitely wanted to do one for the holiday season, for Christmas, and I'm gonna be sipping on this all through December. So I've got all my ingredients out right here. It's really easy. There's not a whole lot that you need to have. So let's get started. All right, you guys, so here it is right here, a Winter Wonderland Sip. There's not that many ingredients. It's super exciting, and there it is. Doesn't that just make you feel excited when you see that? It does for me. And so this is the Trim Healthy Mama cookbook that it comes from on page 405. So I've got all my ingredients set out right here. We're going to be blending it again, of course, because that's what we do with sippers. I'm out of my Himalayan salt, which I hate, and I forgot to put it on my pickup order that I actually went and picked up this morning. But I've got everything else: vanilla, peppermint, butter. We've got peppermint tea bags. We need to be steeping in the hot water, so we're going to go ahead and start with that. I'm going to be adding some internal collagen in this as well. It doesn't call for that because it calls for protein powder, and it's kind of the same. You don't necessarily need both, but I want to put it in for myself today. I've also got an ingredient called glucose or glucomannan. If you don't have that, that's okay. It's kind of a little bit of a thickening agent, but this is a drink. You don't totally need it. You can definitely still make it without it if you don't have it. It just adds a little something extra. I have the Trim Healthy Mama Sweet Blend here. You guys know that I absolutely love that. If you don't have that at home, that's okay. You can still definitely make this. You can get something just easy like this just at the store. It's just stevia. It's liquid stevia. And you can just pour a few squirts of that in, and it's exactly the same. So I also have their brand of protein powder here. So we're going to start by putting in our peppermint and letting that start to seep. And then I'm going to be adding the other ingredients while we wait for this to seep. I've also got my mason jar out, and I like to put ice in it because that's how we do the sippers. You can also have this hot if you want, but I want to sip on it today, so I'm going to have it cold. And I got my new awesome straw. See, we got bent ones this time, which is kind of cool, but you can't see inside of them, like if they're clean or not, and so that's my only complaint. Otherwise, the kids and I really kind of like them. Alright, so while we have that going, we're going to start adding stuff into our blender, all of the dry ingredients. Ooh, it smells strongly of peppermint in here. So the first ingredient the recipe calls for is the protein powder. You want to make sure that you don't add too much of these ingredients because they all do have to dissolve into the liquid. So you want to make sure that you're not using a ton, but I never measure, I just do a tiny bit. So that looks about good to me, but you'll want to do 1 teaspoon until you get the feel for it. I'm going to also add my collagen now before I forget, since it's not part of the actual menu. It's probably about a teaspoon. If you're just using like a liquid stevia, you would just squirt in a couple of squirts to your liking. You'll probably know what you actually like. For the sweet blend, if you actually have that, then you're going to add 2 to 3 teaspoons of this. I tend to like a lot of sweetener in my things, and I don't love peppermint, so I definitely want to balance out the pepperminty flavors in this with a lot of sweetener, and that's just my preference. So I will definitely be adding the full 2 to 3 teaspoons. That's probably good. And then when you add glucose to things, because it is a thickening agent, you're going to want to make sure that you stir it in really well. So that's why we're doing the blender with this recipe, because we want the glucose to be mixed really, really well. It can clump up and it can be really nasty and things if you add too much or if you don't blend it very well. Also, this expands with water, so you want to make sure you keep it away from pets and away from kids, because if they start choking on it, it's actually really bad. You wouldn't even want to put more water in because it expands. So it can be a little bit dangerous if you have little ones running around. The recipe just calls for 2 donks, which is a tiny, tiny amount, so they call this a donk. It's about 1/32 of a teaspoon, and so you're just adding in 2, which is why you can see, like, if you don't have it, it's not a huge deal because there's just such a little amount. So it calls for just a pinch of mineral salt, There's my pinch. So the recipe calls for half a teaspoon of vanilla. I really like vanilla, so sometimes I don't hesitate to do a little bit more than is necessary. And you guys know I don't measure anything. I just do what looks good to me. So that's, I'm sure, about a half a teaspoon. So maybe a little bit more than that. So then I have my peppermint extract, which I was super fortunate to find a tiny bit left in the fridge. So true story of my life, we've had this in the fridge on like our little top shelf of our door of our fridge, and it spilled and got everywhere, and then somehow butter got into it. So we had this peppermint tasting butter for a few weeks that we used up anyway, even though everybody complained that their food tasted like peppermint. And that is the true story of my life. So I was gonna get more from the store and they were out, but I have a little bit here and I'm so super excited for that. So the recipe calls for a half teaspoon to a teaspoon of it. So if you really like peppermint, definitely add the full teaspoon. I might do a little less than that. I like peppermint things, but I don't really like peppermint candy, so I'm just gonna go a little bit minimal on that. And then the last ingredient we have is a teaspoon of butter. And so you guys probably know this has like tablespoons on it, but it doesn't have teaspoons on it. So I'm not about to like get out a teaspoon thing and like put in a little like rounded, fill in the teaspoon. So I'm just gonna cut a tiny little sliver off and that's gonna be good enough. You can't ruin these sippers, so it does not have to be perfect. So what do you guys think? Is that about a teaspoon? I actually think I might add just a tiny bit more. I really, really, really like butter. So there we go. So that is all the ingredients that we have to add. So now all we need is our peppermint tea back here. Do you guys like my little candy cane cup? We've had these for years and I just absolutely adore these. We have quite a few and I love their shape and they just make me happy because they're so festive. So it says you can take the tea bags out and discard. Since they have us use like 2 tea bags in a lot of the sippers, sometimes I save them and I'll make like a second sipper with them. If I'm going through the effort of making the sippers one day, like I'll probably have it a couple of times. And so I just leave out the ingredients for a few hours and keep drinking them and enjoying them. All right, so in goes our peppermint tea. Woo, there we go. It looks so good. And we are ready to blend. You really only have to blend for a couple of seconds. It really doesn't take that long. You're not like making a smoothie or anything. So 5-10 seconds, that's plenty. All right, we're gonna add this in. I am so excited. I'm so excited for the holiday flavors. I'm just like so ready. I'm so ready for Christmas. So there it is. It looks a lot like the picture. I'm so excited. So I definitely am going to top this off a little bit. You can see how my concentrate did not come all the way up to the top and I want to enjoy the whole thing. So I'm going to add a little bit more water in this. Sometimes I'll add a little extra ice and that way it does make it to the top, but here we'll add some water. And I like to give it a little stir for good measure. Make sure everything is all situated. All right, you guys, are you ready? Let's try it. So I have had this before, but maybe like a couple years ago. It's been a while and I haven't had it like a ton. Like it's not one of the ones I drink all the time. And so I kind of remember it, but not totally. So let's see how this is gonna go down. Oh wow, it's good. It's really good. I definitely added a lot of sweetener. It's very sweet, so I can taste the sweetener. It's also really, really pepperminty. I think I would go back a little bit and not have so much extract next time. I don't love peppermint. If you love peppermint, you'll probably really like it. But I wonder if maybe the peppermint tea bags are enough for me and maybe I don't need the extract because it kind of has like a peppermint like bite to it that almost makes it like a not right aftertaste. And so yeah, I might try next time leaving out the extract. But overall, it's really, really good. I wouldn't add more sweetener to like overcome that bitterness from the peppermint extract. So that's why I might just leave it out. But it definitely tastes really holiday-ish. It's really, really good. I'm so excited. It's just another thing that we can add to our weight loss arsenal of recipes and continue to lose weight together. So it's so awesome and we can still enjoy the holidays and we can still enjoy Christmas at the same time. Also, Trim Healthy Mama does have different hot chocolate recipes. So I'm gonna dig some of those out and see how many there are. Maybe we'll compare some of them. Maybe I'll just make my top favorite one, but there's definitely gonna be hot chocolate recipes coming out. pretty soon on this channel, so definitely keep checking back. I've been really enjoying making these recipes and things for you guys, so I hope you're enjoying it. If you do, please give me a thumbs up or comment, and that's how I know what kind of videos you want to see. And if you're liking what I'm doing, I can make pretty much any kind of content on this channel because, hey, it's a bucket list and it's what we want out of our life, and so that's the focus of this channel. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you would subscribe, I'm definitely trying to grow this channel, and I really do appreciate it. Give me a big thumbs up, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.
We start to sail along these ocean waves. Nobody knows how to find us. It's turning out to be a perfect day. I just wanna leave our normal lives behind us. So let's get lost out here. No one else out here. Find ourselves out here.